Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Live with Beef. It is Thursday, September 26th. We're hanging out here in the kitchen, and we're getting ready to talk all things tailgating. That's right, it is time to beef up your tailgating recipes with our some amazing Colorado beef. So first and foremost, a big thank you to our friends at the Colorado Beef Council for hosting our live events. We're excited to be here on YouTube and hanging out with you. Now, as we always say, don't forget to leave your questions in the comment section down below. We'll always come back and answer those questions for you, whether we're live or after the fact. We'll come back and hang out with you and make sure we answer your questions as well. Again, a big thanks to our friends at the Colorado Beef Council for hosting this tonight. In the description section, we've got a couple cool downloads for you that we have posted in there. We've got Beef Up Your Tailgating. It's some tailgating treasures, some great recipes that you can get from our friends at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. If you go in there and type in tailgating, you'll find a lot of really good resources to help you find some cool recipes that give you ways to add more beef into tailgating. And I'll tell you, I know we always talk a lot about ground beef and great ways to use it. And you know, when it comes to tonight's dish, we're gonna do a little queso dish. And what I like about that is I can use ground beef in there. I can use ground beef in chili because tailgating season is also chili season. So a lot of cool options and great ways to add tailgating. And if you look at other recipes you can use, we did a taco class the other night. Use a little bit of skirt steak. You could also use flat iron steaks, slice it nice and thin, but a lot of great ways to add beef and keep things exciting when it comes to tailgating, from ground beef to steaks and all that. Chili is such a wonderful thing as well because chili just adds such a depth of flavor to your tailgating and definitely to the fall season. And I'm alluding to something. That's right, coming up in October, we are going to talk all about chili. We're going to show you a great chili recipe that you could fill up your mug with, sit out back on the patio furniture by the fireplace, wrapped up in a blanket, and enjoy a little bit of chili. But tonight, it is all about tailgating. We have a very easy recipe. I wanted to just kind of do something fast and easy for you tonight to show you that whether you're cooking at home and having people over, or you need to bring a dish to someone's house, we have a great and easy recipe that travels well, it holds well. You can do it at home, like I said, to get it done early and hold it hot. You can bring it to someone's house and it will still stay hot, depending on the drive, right? If you're going 4 hours to grandma's house, maybe not. But for the most part, this will stay nice and warm when you travel. You could always bring it in your crock pot if you wanted to heat it up a little bit easier. And the great thing about this, it's a very simple recipe. You ready for the ingredients? It is ground beef, some cheese dip, if you're doing like a canned or jarred cheese dip, and salsa. 3 things, that's it. But we're gonna show you a couple other things that you can add to it to definitely add some flavor. So first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and add the ground beef. We're gonna get that out of the package and we'll get that into our pan. We've got our pan preheated, kind of over medium heat. We didn't go too crazy on the heat. We just wanted to get that about medium so we're not burning the ground beef. Like I said before, what a great way to utilize extra ground beef. And even, let's say you made burgers yesterday and you're thinking, what am I gonna do with leftover burgers? Absolutely, you could chop those up and get those in there and use up chopped up leftover burgers. We don't really call that leftover, we call that repurposing. That's a fun way to get away from calling it leftovers. Now, go ahead here, we'll get this ground beef kind of pressed in here and chopped up just a little bit. I'm kind of roughly chopping it. I don't want it to become too small. I'm more or less just trying to break it into smaller pieces. And then this is 1 pound of ground beef that we have in here. So we're not going too crazy. The recipe is for 1 pound. You can always double that, triple that, however you need. And you know what? Leftovers of this dish are not bad either. It'll store very, very well. Keep it in your fridge. Make sure it's uncovered while it cools down. Once it's cooled down completely, you can cover it up and save it for a rainy day or a snowy day or whatever's coming up in Colorado here in these next few months. So again, like I said, it's a great dish to travel with too. So you can take it on the road. You can have it at your house, and it does really, really well. Now, you can see what we have there. That ground beef is just starting to cook. We're getting some of that pink away. And, you know, as I'm reading through here, one of the things that is important to kind of remember is color doesn't necessarily denote doneness on the ground beef. Yes, we know that it will darken up a little bit more as it cooks, but always temperature check that if you're concerned. Minimum doneness for ground beef, 160 degrees, but don't hesitate to grab a good instant read digital thermometer. That's going to be your best friend. This will get into that ground beef really, really nice and check that temperature fast and reliable. So double check it if you're unsure. Just want to make sure you get everything cooked completely. So 160 degrees is going to be our doneness. I'm keeping an eye on this here as well. Getting everything where I need to get it. Yep, there we go. Now, as it starts to cook, literally the recipe called for beef, it called for the cheese, and it called for maybe some salsa to add in there as well. But I'm going to take it a step further. Pick your favorite seasoning. You could do a Cajun seasoning, a Creole seasoning. Obviously, we're doing kind of a nacho beef dip. We want to keep that nacho beef going. I'm using a little bit of taco seasoning. So pick a taco seasoning. There's so many options out there. There's some that are made with chipotle. There's some that are made with habanero. There's absolutely gluten-free options and salt-free options for you as well. We went with just kind of one of our favorites. We're going to mix that taco seasoning in. We'll go ahead and just lightly scrape the bottom of our pan as well. Get any of those little beef nuggets unstuck from the bottom. But we'll go ahead and get that mixed in. Now, I have a couple things that I think are really fun to add. This is Rotel, so it's going to be those Rotel chilies with, tomatoes with green chilies. I like to add those in. It gives it a little bit of flavor, or you could substitute it and do it with salsa. Salsa will absolutely work in there as well. In fact, that's what the recipe calls for, so you can add salsa. I went with the Rotel just to get a little bit more flavor, and I wanted to add those green chilies. I drained it. Make sure we got rid of some of those juices that were in there. I didn't want the cheese sauce to become too runny, so I definitely wanted to drain the liquid out of the Rotel. Now, I have a taco seasoning. Could easily add some ground tomatoes or tomato sauce if you wanted. And I don't mean taco seasoning, I'm sorry. I have taco sauce. So we're going to add taco sauce in here just to give it a little more robustness. Really nice, kind of a nice tomatoey, savory kind of thing that complements that sauce seasoning, taco spice really well. We'll get that mixed up nice. Now I'm going to turn my heat down. Probably to medium-low, just to make sure I don't overheat what I'm doing here. Definitely you can check this out too. You can grab one of your, where are my spoons? Seriously. You can grab one of your tasting spoons and get in there and give it a sample if you need to, just to double check everything. Like I said, I added that Rotel. I really like the Rotel because it had some green chili in there. And that green chili just gives it a bump of heat, which I think people like. Don't surprise them with heat. No one likes to be surprised with something that's way too spicy. So if you make it incredibly spicy, tell your friends. No one likes that. Tell them and let them know it's hot, especially if there's kids in the room. You don't want to surprise anyone's kids with ghost chili or scorpion chili queso dip or nacho beef dip, right? That would not be a fun or exciting part. So we're just doing one jar of that salsa con queso, so a little bit of salsa with our cheese sauce in here. And now I'm just going to go through and mix this, get everything incorporated in there nicely. And I'm not bringing it back to a boil. I want to be very careful when it comes to the temperature, because what will happen is you'll kind of get these little pops and blurts and blurps and sizzles. And as you do that, you're going to have some cheese dip going maybe on the counter on your arm. So I just like to be careful when I bring this back to temperature that I'm not going too hot, but I am going hot enough. So we'll get this mixed in nicely. You can tell when it's not mixed. You're going to take that chili seasoning and those tomatoes and everything. They're going to be a darker color. The cheese sauce is going to be a lighter color. Once you get everything mixed, you won't have any little swirls. It won't look like devil's food cake swirls. You'll have everything mixed in there really nice. So again, just bringing this back up to temp a little bit. Let's go right there. Like we always say, please don't forget to leave your questions and comments in the chat section. Even after we're live, we'll come back and get those answered for you as well. And if you're looking for a place to get some amazing Colorado beef, we have a lot of ranchers and producers here in Colorado that are ready to help fill your fridges, your freezers, your bellies with Colorado beef. So head over to cobeef.com. That is the Colorado Beef Council website, cobeef.com. They will let you in on a little secret. It's called the Beef Locator Map. You can get in there on that locator map and find a rancher producer closest to you that has some beef available for you. And whether you're buying a half or a quarter, or however you're doing that, you'll have a lot of great, amazing ways to utilize all that. This, to me, honest, is one of the best times of the year to buy beef locally from a rancher producer, because if maybe you're getting your half or quarter delivered to you that was processed earlier this season, this is nice because I love ground beef. That's what we're using in here. When you buy an animal from a rancher producer, whether it's a half, a quarter, you'll get some ground beef. And this is, man, I'm telling you what, it's perfect season for it. Whether it's goulash or chili, meatloaf. I was talking to somebody last night, and they made an amazing meatloaf that they were talking me through how they did it on their smoker. And yeah, it just reminds me there are a million reasons or ways to use up ground beef. So we have our dip coming back up to temp here. We are getting a little bit of bubbling in there. So I'm going to pay attention to that and turn that down. And that's it. That's all you want to do is basically heat it up. Can I show you what that looks like without spilling it? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Can you see in there? Hold on. Make sure we can see in there. That looks pretty good, right? Does that look okay? Hold on a second. There we go. Yeah, you can see that. So a nice, easy, fun nacho beef dip. We use ground beef. We use a little bit of taco seasoning. We use some of the Rotel tomatoes with the green chilies in there. We use that cheese dip. We just made it really nice, light, and easy. Something else you could do that I think is always kind of fun, you could start with some bacon fat. You could add a little bit of sauteed bacon in there. Bacon always gives it such a different flavor. It gives it a little bit of depth, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of smoky as well. Obviously salty, so be very careful. And then I'm going to grab some of my favorite chips. I'm going to grab some salsa, and I'm going to leave that in the pot. I'm going to leave it in the stock pot I cooked it in. I'm going to put it on a trivet or a towel or something that's going to insulate my cutting board from getting burned, but I will serve that up like that and let people come through and build themselves a little platter, scoop that on top. And then you can add things like sour cream, you can add tomatoes, green onions, you can add cheese, and let people kind of build their own beef dip or queso bar or nacho bar as well. Very, very easy. Like I said too, in the description section down there, we've got a couple great downloads for you tonight. We have got the Beef Up Your Tailgating. It's kind of what the Beef is What's for Dinner calls their tailgating treasures. We have that link in there for you so you can click on that and get into a lot of tailgating recipes. And don't think queso is the only thing you can do for tailgating. Look at stuff like tacos. You can do roasts. You could do roasted beef knuckle and shave that and do some great sandwiches as well. Philly cheesesteaks are great for tailgating. Meatballs are amazing for tailgating. There's really a lot of options to keep you fed well this tailgating season. So like I always say, thank you so much to our friends at the Colorado Beef Council for hosting us. We appreciate the opportunity to come and hang out with you for a little bit, and we appreciate you coming to hang out with us. So very quick and easy tonight. We just wanted to come on and show you a fun, easy recipe, right? Not every recipe has to be this long process with tons of ingredients. The great thing is this is your canvas. That beef nacho dip is your canvas that you can do whatever you want to do to it. You can switcheroo, swap things out, and change things up quite a bit. So head over to cobeef.com. That is the Colorado Beef Council website. You can head over there, grab some great content, find some cool tips, some great downloadables, and then also our Colorado Beef Locator map that will help you find local beef for your fridge, freezer, and your belly. We've got a lot of great, amazing ranchers and producers waiting to get you well fed and well stocked up for the winter months. So don't forget to head over to cobeef.com. And again, thanks to our ranchers and producers because they support us getting on here live and helping spread the good word of beef. So once again, I'm Chef Jason for my friends at the Colorado Beef Council. Thank you for hanging out with us. Now, it is September when this video is coming out, right? The end of September. Stay tuned because coming up in October, yeah, it's all about chili, and you don't want to miss it because we're going to do a really good chili, show you how to get that chili set up in your mug. Maybe you can take it on the road with you. You can take it out when you're snowmobiling, when you're out plowing snow, any of that good stuff. But we're going to have a blast talking chili. Chili is going to be great for all of those fall and winter months that are coming up, and a great way because you make a big pot of chili and that's going to last for a couple days of chili happiness. So thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you in October when it is chili time.